Hello everyone, it's Mafalda and welcome back to a new video with a new background. I honestly don't remember when was the last time I filmed a video. I think it was probably in March and we're closer to June now. It's the end of May. So it has been like maybe 2 months, 3 months, I don't even know anymore. But it has been a long time since I filmed a sit-down video. I do have some vlogs in the making, especially my moving vlog. I'm still working on that, so that's why I still haven't posted it. But yeah, I just thought I would, in the meantime, since I don't have my vlogs then, I would film another kind of video, kind of to ease myself into booktube, because these past 2 months that I was away from YouTube, I honestly thought of just like quitting and never posting again. But I know deep down how much I love doing this. I just needed some time and I wasn't in the right headspace, and I also wasn't reading much, so I didn't feel like coming back. But now I'm ready to come back, basically. And today I thought of doing a fun quick try chapter video, which is a video that I've been meaning to do on YouTube for a really long time. And basically, if you don't know what the try a chapter, it's not really a challenge, but like the try a chapter video is about, it's basically you pick like a few books and you try the first chapter of each book, and depending on which one you like more, you decide on what books you're going to continue reading. And yeah, that's basically it. And so that's what I'm gonna be doing today, and I'm really excited about it. I've never done this, so obviously it's gonna be fun. And I've also just been really just like mood reading, to be honest. These past few months I've just been like picking books as I read them, and currently I'm reading 2 books actually, but I want to read more. I've honestly just been in a really good reading mood, and so I want to take advantage of that. And yeah, I just also haven't been making TBRs, so maybe this will be a good way to pick like the first books that I read for next month, for June. So yeah, maybe these books will be also in my June TBR, we'll see. But yeah, I asked you guys to give me a number from 1 to 47, because those are currently the number of books that I have here on my TBR card. I currently have 47 books to read, which isn't that bad. I started out at like 60 or something, so I've been doing pretty good. And I also got rid of some books when I moved out this month. And yeah, so I have 47 books here in my TBR card, and I asked you guys for like to give me a number so that I can pick books from my TBR and just like try them in this video. And you guys came through with the responses. Like I have just like a bunch of them. Okay, so I am on the floor next to my TBR card, and I have all your guys' answers here, and I'm just gonna randomly pick maybe 4 numbers off of this list, and those will be the books that I will get from there. And yeah, I'm excited, but I'm also scared. So the first one that I'm gonna pick is this one, and it says 34. Okay, so 34 was the first one, and let's see what we have next. I'll pick this one, and it says 23. So yeah, 23. I'm just writing them down so I don't forget. Okay, so next one is this one. Oh my god, I'm not even pointing it right. Like this one right here is number 22. Okay, I didn't get that one, so sure. Okay, and last one. Let's see which one I get. Let me scroll a bit further. Maybe I'll do this one right here on top. It says 36. So we have 34, 23, 22, and 36. They're pretty close together, which is funny. But yeah, let's get these books. Okay, so I already have the 4 books here with me, and they're actually pretty interesting choices, and I'm really happy with them. So the first one that I got, which was number 34, was Americanah by Evie Zuboy. Well, it's edited by Evie Zuboy, but it's by a bunch of authors. This is an anthology, so basically short stories. And since this is short stories, I will obviously read the first one, which is not really a good indicator if I will like the book or not, but still that's just how I'm gonna do it, because this doesn't really have chapters, you know. So yeah, that is the first one. Then the next one was number 23, and it is Watch Us Rise by Renee Watson and Ellen Hagen. I've had this book on my TBR for way too long, so this will be just the perfect opportunity to finally read the story. I know this is about two students who, I don't know, I think they make like a club at school for feminism, and I think that's basically it. So excited to get to it and read the first chapter of this. This will probably be a pretty short chapter since this is a YA book, but still. Then the next one that I got was Americanah by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I've had this book on my TBR for way too long as well, and I debated on getting rid of it because I've heard a lot of bad things that Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has said about trans people. I hear that she's pretty transphobic, and I obviously don't support that at all, but at the same time, I am really interested in this book, and I've heard a lot of great things about it. And since I had already bought this book before I've heard about the claims about the author, I just didn't get rid of it, and I was just like planning on reading it and then getting rid of it. So yeah, that is my stance on this book. But yeah, I'm still really interested in reading this one, especially because I've heard so many great things about it from people that I really trust. So yeah, that is the third book that I will try in this try a chapter video. And the last one that I have here is also pretty exciting, and it is The Mothers by Britt Bennett. I got this book for my birthday. It was a present from Casey, so thank you so much. And yeah, I read The Vanishing Half last year, I think, and I really enjoyed it, so I've been meaning to get my hands on this one since then. And yeah, I love Britt Bennett's writing, so I think I will really enjoy this one. So these are the 4 books that I will be trying in this experiment. I will try the first chapter of Black Enough, Watch Us Rise, Americanah, and The Mothers, and I am really excited about this, so let's get to reading. I think the first one that I will try will be Watch Us Rise, because that is going probably to be a really short chapter. So yeah, I'm just gonna read this one and then I'll move on to another one, so let's get to reading. Okay, so I just finished reading the first chapter of Watch Us Rise. The chapter was how many pages? 10 pages, so it was pretty short, like I knew it would be. And this chapter is set in the month of August, and it is a chapter by one of our main characters who is called Jasmine, and she is 1 month away from starting high school again. She's in her junior year, and Jasmine's dad has just been diagnosed with cancer, and he only has a few months to live, and she's obviously really sad about that. And her friends, who are called Chelsea, Nadine, and Isaac, go to visit her and her dad. And her dad honestly seems like a really positive and cool guy. Even though he has cancer, he keeps making like these scavenger hunts for Jasmine and her friends to go on across the city of New York, because this is set in New York. And Jasmine's dad also calls them the artivists because they're really into art and activism. And yeah, that was pretty much the first chapter. It was just like them talking to her dad and her friends being there for Jasmine. And yeah, that was pretty much the first chapter. And also Jasmine has a younger brother called Jason, and he doesn't really still know that their father has cancer, and she's really worried about that, obviously. And yeah, that was pretty much the first chapter, but I am honestly really intrigued to read the rest. I didn't know that this had such a like gut-punching storyline in this. I just know that this book is about activism in some way, and yeah, I'm really intrigued to read the rest. Honestly, I would continue reading because the chapters are pretty short. And also this year I just have been gravitating a lot more towards adult books, and so I haven't been reading a lot of YA, but sometimes it just feels nice to read YA. They're just like, I don't know, easier to read. So it felt nice to pick up a YA book. Maybe I will continue reading this one, but now let's move on to another one. I think I will pick up Americanah next because I know that that one has a really big first chapter, so let's just get that over with and let me go to another place to read. Okay, so I finished reading the first chapter of Americanah just now. The chapter is 18 pages long actually, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the writing, and this first chapter is just like an introduction chapter about the story, but it follows our main character Ifemelu, and she has been living in America, in Brooklyn I think, and she just finished a fellowship at Princeton. And she also has, well, she used to make blog posts for a really successful blog that she made over the years, which was called Race Themed or Various Observations About American Blacks. And Ifemelu is originally from Nigeria. She has been in the US for 15 years and she's planning on moving back to Nigeria because she has a job there waiting for her, and she also finished her fellowship at Princeton, so she doesn't really have anything else in America for her. She used to have a boyfriend, she broke up with him because she felt it wasn't right, and she's also moving back to Nigeria because her first love was from Nigeria and they met there, and she's kind of like hoping she will come back and he will also come back because he's not there anymore, and maybe they will resume what they had. And yeah, that is her hopes in moving to Nigeria. And in this chapter she is going to a salon in New York City and she's getting her hair braided, and she's talking to these women who are also from Africa. They're from Senegal, and she's talking to them about how she's moving to Nigeria again. And yeah, that was basically the first chapter, but I really enjoyed the writing and I was interested, to be honest, and I would consider continuing with this book. But the thing that I really didn't like is that the font is tiny, which I really don't like, and the book is also pretty big, so I'm not sure if I will continue with this one. It was a really good first chapter, and now let's move on to another book. I think now I will read the first chapter of The Mothers by Britt Bennett, and then I will finish with Black Enough. And I don't think this first chapter will be long, or maybe it is now that I'm flipping the pages. Maybe it is long, but yeah, let's do it. And also let's change the scenery again and go somewhere else to read. Today it is too hot to even read in the sun. I am sweating. So I came inside and I just finished reading the first chapter of The Mothers. This chapter was longer than Americanah, but the font is just like normal sized. So it was 19 pages and oh my god, I can already tell that I'm gonna love this book. So that is something. This first chapter was very hard-hitting. It follows, I think, our main character, who is called Nadia, and she's a 17-year-old, and one day she goes to a diner and she meets this guy named Luke who works there, and he's 21 and he had a really promising football career, but then he had an injury and so he can't play anymore, so he works at this diner restaurant kind of thing. And Nadia and Luke meet there and then they get involved and have a relationship. Then one day Nadia is pregnant, and in this first chapter she tells Luke and she says that she can have the baby because she wants to go to college, and so that will ruin her plans of going to college, and so she goes to an abortion clinic and she gets an abortion, and once she leaves the appointment, Luke isn't there waiting for her, and it is just heartbreaking. Like, I only read 19 pages of this, but I'm already so invested, and I really want to continue with this book, honestly. I loved this first chapter. It was super gripping. It was just like, I want to read more. I want to know more about Nadia, and I want to know if she gets some closure with Luke. And yeah, I didn't really read the backs of this book and the synopsis of these books before reading the first chapter because I just wanted to be surprised, and I had no idea that this was the story of the mothers, because obviously this is a book probably about mothers, and the first chapter is about a girl not wanting to become a mother. So that is interesting, and yeah, that was really good. And now, since I'm already in bed, you can really see that I'm sitting in bed, I'm gonna read the first short story in Black Enough, Stories of Being Young and Black in America. In bed, I'm just gonna read here, and yeah. The first story in this is called, well, there's an introduction which I'm also going to read before reading the first story, and the first story is Half a Moon by Renee Watson. Whoa! I didn't know that. I didn't do that on purpose. I'm reading two Renee Watsons in this video. That's interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna read the first story and also the introduction, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, and last chapter of the last book has been read. Well, not really a chapter, a story. I read the first story and the introduction. The introduction was really good, and the first story was also pretty sweet as well. It's about a girl. She's named... Is she named ever? I'm not really sure because the story is written in first person. But yeah, the main character's father left when she was 7, and basically he remarried and had a new family and a new daughter. And the main character is obviously pretty bummed about that whole situation ever since she was little. And at first she's like remembering the times where her dad was still in her family with her mom, and the story is set in the summer, and the main character is going to a camp where she's being a camp counselor, and also there at the camp is a girl named Brooke, who is her father's daughter. Don't really get a lot of details, but basically from what I gathered, the main character's father left because he was having an affair, and the woman he was having an affair with got pregnant with Brooke, this girl who is also at the camp. And basically she's really like annoyed that her half-sister is at the camp as well. But then Brooke starts getting really kind of bullied and messed with other girls there at the camp, and obviously the main character feels that she has to step in to defend her sister, and at the end they're like really good friends, and she really helps Brooke with her like other kids bullying her and stuff. But yeah, it's just a really sweet story about family and sisterhood, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. But now I'm gonna pick maybe 2 books to continue reading, and I don't know which ones. I'm gonna think for a while.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I think I have picked the 2 books that I'm gonna continue reading, especially in June. I'm gonna start this weekend, but I'll probably only read them, actually fully read them in June. So the 2 books that I'm gonna continue reading are, first one, The Mothers by Brit Bennett. I think this first chapter was just amazing, and I feel like I'm going to love this book. I love Brit Bennett's writing so much, and I'm just really curious to continue with this book, so that is the first one that I will be reading in June. And the next one is one that also really caught my attention, and I just think I need some YA right now in my life, and in the summer months. So I'm gonna continue reading Watch Us Rise by Renee Watson and Ellen Hagen. And yeah, I'm really excited about this one as well. I wasn't expecting this one to be so hard-hitting at first, and yeah, I feel like I'm also going to really enjoy this one. So these are the two books that I'm gonna continue reading, and I really enjoyed these two first chapters, but I also really enjoyed the other ones that I read, Black Enough and Americanah. Black Enough obviously is a different type of format for this experiment, but still I really enjoyed the first story, and I have been really loving anthologies this year, and also last year I also read a lot of anthologies, and I've just been really enjoying them. So yeah, I will continue this at some point. And also Americana, I feel like it's like I'm already reading a pretty dense book, and this is also a really dense book, so I need like the perfect time to pick this up, which is not now. I feel like I need some like lighter reads for the summer months. So yeah, I'm gonna continue this at another time, but I also really enjoyed the first chapter of this. So yeah, this was a pretty successful experiment. I really enjoyed reading these first few chapters and just like seeing like little glimpses of these books. Let me know down below if you want me to do more of these videos. I could definitely do more with all of the numbers that you guys sent me on Instagram. So yeah, maybe I'll do a part 2, I don't know. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!